What is up, party people? It's Miaro. I'm back with some more Dungeon Defenders 2 goodness. This time I'm going to introduce you to the monk, or at least what parts of him have been implemented so far. And he's just like the other heroes at this point. He's got 3 towers and 2 abilities. And you can see the towers there, and then now you can see what the abilities are. And then I'll walk you through each of them here as I show you the graphics for them. First, let's take a step back here. We'll look at the basic attacks. This is just your basic left-click attack animation, and I think, to me, the monk animation is the coolest one. I think they really nailed it with this guy. He also still has ranged attack. If you hold down the right mouse button, it'll charge it up and shoot it out. It looks like 4. Couldn't get 4 or 5 balls there. I'm not sure if that will be affected by equipment or not, and then you can just wail on the right mouse button to send out single bolts. I didn't find this to be particularly effective. I mean, you can see the health bars sort of go down when I connect with that thing. I found it a little bit hard to target with, although they say they've made some improvements in range targeting. But I mean, it's nice to have when you're kind of hiding behind barricades or whatever. But I didn't find it to be particularly useful. So let's talk towers. His first tower is called the Skyguard Tower, and this is a defense that will only hit things that are in the air. And it's an important distinction between things that are in the air and flying. It doesn't have to be a flying enemy, it just has to be something that's in the air. And that comes into play when you start talking about tower combos and even combos with abilities of other heroes. But basically, you can see it shooting here. Ignore the dead monk on the ground. That's what it looks like when it's attacking a flying enemy. But here I'm playing as a huntress, but you can see the Skyguard Tower is attacking anything that gets knocked up in the air by the water blasts there. So even orcs, even though it won't hit them normally when they're on the ground, there's synergies with other towers where you can still use them to attack normal ground enemies. So the next tower is called Serenity Ara, and this is similar to the Aras from Dungeon Defenders 1. It's got a different effect. There's a little circle on the ground, but I'll show you all the different upgrades. There's not a lot else to see because it's sort of a passive effect, but I'll talk about what it does. I'll play this animation twice so I can talk through what it does. It actually has 2 effects, and the most noticeable one is that when you're standing in it, or when any of your allies are standing in it, they're being healed, and you also get a defense boost while you're standing in there. And then the other half is that any enemies that are in that little bubble or that little area will take more damage. The last monk tower is another Ara rather than a tower proper, and it is called the Boost Ara. And the basic idea is that any defenses that are in its range, yours or your allies, they do additional damage and they have additional durability. And then the other sort of interesting thing is that they're sort of all chained together while they're in there. And if one of the defenses in the Ara falls, the other defenses in it are repaired. It's time to talk abilities, and the first one is called Heroic Wave. And what this thing is, it's a point-blank AoE, it's a heal, and it also strengthens anybody that's caught in it as well. So you can see when this thing goes off, it's a non-trivial amount of healing. The last ability for the monk is called the Chi Blast. I hope I'm saying that right. It has a couple of different effects. The obvious one here is that it knocks enemies backwards. So you can give your defenses more time to attack those enemies, or what I like to do is line them up and knock them off the edge of the cliff. The other thing that this does, and I don't know if there's a spell effect or not for it, I didn't record myself doing it, but basically if you stand behind your defenses and shoot the Chi Blast through it, it'll still knock the enemies back, but it also improves the attack of anything that it passes through. And there you have it, a preview of the monk as he exists in Dungeon Defenders 2 so far. I'll be making a bunch more of these videos as time goes on, so make sure that you mash the subscribe button. A like wouldn't hurt either. Share this with everybody you know, and until next time, I'm Miaro. Thanks for watching.